A lot of people are going to disagree with me about this, but I'm going to say it right here. And my opinion is that if you're not nature journaling from direct observation, but you're working instead from photos or from books, that is not nature journaling, but just homework. Stay to the end to see what I mean. Most of this nature journal page was done in the field while actually observing something that I could ask questions about and go deeper. Now that I'm at home, adding information from memory, adding information and color from photos, that's what I call homework, and that's what this video is about.
Homework can be fun also because you can get creative with lettering and you can come up with funny stuff to say, such as adding some of the story in that I saw with these road runners and making a note of what the female roadrunner, or what I think is the female, might be thinking to herself. Why, he is so romantic singing to me with that corpse dangling from his mouth. And since I don't have any good photos of the roadrunner, I'm actually just gonna go on Wikipedia and look it up. It looks like there's two species. So I'm assuming I saw the California one. So let's see what kind of images we can at least get some images of the color. And I do remember it having bright colors on the male in this area, and I took notes of that. So now that this event is over, it's been several weeks, but doing homework can just be going back on these pages and adding some more info in, and that can include research, but it can also just be based on memory and creativity.
I'm not saying you can't nature journal from home, because you can, and I have tons of videos about it. You can nature journal from home if it's direct observation, like nature journaling a cabbage. There is a big difference between nature journaling a cabbage that I can hold with my hands and learn about than nature journaling a photo of a cool reptile in Madagascar. With the cabbage, I can follow my curiosity, ask questions, and learn new things such as the inside of the cabbage. That is something you can't do with a photo or a video online because someone has already made the decisions about what is important and what's not. That's why I'm making this distinction about what homework is. I'm going back and adding watercolor to pages and sketches and notes that I did in the field. There's no longer any direct observation going on there. I'm just sort of beautifying my pages, doing a little bit of research online, and that's what I call homework. Another type of homework is working from photos that you have taken. If they're photos that you have taken, there's a lot more nature journaling you can do, but it's also a form of homework in my opinion. Here, I'm also adding watercolor to multiple pages at the same time because that's what works best with watercolor. I'm also adding some notes about some of the things that I remembered from the field. So you can see that there's sometimes a mixture of research, beautifying pages, adding to the aesthetics, organizing, having fun, and all of that is useful homework for nature journaling.
Those are a couple ways that you can do homework in your nature journal. And remember, it can actually be fun. And another thing is, whenever possible, try to use your own photos instead of looking up images online.
This looks like a really cool nature journal page with a Gila monster, a venomous lizard from the desert of North America. However, this, in my opinion, is not a nature journal page because I did this from photos that someone else took. I have no idea if those photos were falsified, where they were taken, what it smelled like, what the weather was like, and if I have more questions while I'm drawing this animal, I can't look at it from the other side. I can't look to see if I can find any poop. I can't look to see what plants are growing near it. I can't ask questions about what bird sounds might be happening in the area and if those birds might be alarming about this predator, or if those birds have different temperature needs than this reptile. Those are aspects of nature journaling that I cannot do because I'm working from a photo. That's why I call this kind of work, it could be in my nature journal pages, but I'm calling it homework and not nature journaling. I'm not trying to say there's no place for this type of homework in your nature journaling practice. It's like doing push-ups or exercises at home that complement your basketball playing when you're playing basketball in an actual game. But no one would say that doing push-ups and exercises is basketball. It's training for that. So here I put a little mark showing that this was done from photos, because I think that's really important to make that distinction, and like the website that it comes from. There's a big difference between this type of nature journaling homework or training for nature journaling and something that was actually done in the field, where I can ask questions, notice animals that are around there, relevant connections. I can put the weather, the temperature, and the location. This is a nature journal page done from direct observation. Same with these leaves. These were based on direct observations, as opposed to this, which was based on photos that someone else took. I guess the main thing here is that there's a major difference between the source. If I'm nature journaling the wrinkles on my hand, or a cabbage that I can hold and look at, or a bird that I can watch in nature, the source of information is very different, and it's not going through as many filters. If I'm working from a field guide or a video online or a book, the person who took those photos, even if it was me, is applying a huge amount of filters to that information, and that information is no longer available and no longer connected to the photo. In addition to adding information and adding color to pages that you did in the field, another way to use homework is in preparation for an animal, an event, an organism, or a phenomenon that you want to nature journal in the field. I'm very interested in these endangered lizards of California right now. I haven't seen them yet in the field to nature journal them, but I've been practicing doing homework, researching, and drawing them from photos. That's a great use for homework. Those are just a few of my thoughts and tips on homework and the difference between homework and nature journaling. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I care a lot about what people think about nature journaling and developing the best ideas around nature journaling. This video came out early for Patreon members only. You can find out more about my Patreon by checking out this link here. Also, in terms of nature journaling homework and getting better at your nature journaling, we have monthly Patreon member only study sessions where we practice nature journaling techniques from the Nature Journal Show and elsewhere. Thanks to all my Patreon members for making this show possible. If you don't know about it, learn how you can support and get special access right here. Bye.